Breaking news out of Ocean County tonight. The Barnagate School Board has now fired 5 staffers after an incident involving a young student with autism. News 12 New Jersey's Naomi Yane was there tonight for the emotional meeting.
The Barnagate School Board held a special meeting to approve the termination of 5 staffers after an alleged incident involving a student with autism. Many parents and members of the community filed into Barnagate High School to voice their concern over the alleged incident.
I can't tell you how many times in there I cried. It was just devastation.
When we heard about what happened, it was stunning. And as details started emerging, hearing more and more of what happened, it's horrible.
The 5 school staffers have been on leave since news of the alleged incident. We heard from the superintendent ahead of tonight's meeting, who said once there was validity of the alleged incident, the district moved forward.
Within 48 hours, had prepared the recommendation and scheduled the meeting for tonight, which I would add is the first time that we were available to have this meeting.
Last week, News 12 New Jersey spoke exclusively to Cassie Spinelli, the mother of the nonverbal 8-year-old girl with autism who was allegedly bound with tape and restrained. She attends Brackman Middle School as part of its ACES program, which is designed for students primarily diagnosed with autism. Many parents at tonight's meeting say the district's special education program is deeply flawed, with several parents referencing other incidents, and they say they want change.
I'm hoping there's drastic change. It starts at the top. It's not just the teachers involved or the aides involved in the incident that happened to this poor child. It goes way beyond that.
Barnagate police investigated and found no crime was committed. The investigation is still open. Tonight in Barnagate Township, Naomi Yane, News 12 New Jersey.
We begin with yet another violent incident at Roosevelt Field Mall, and police say a teenager was attacked earlier this week. And we're now learning that crimes are being committed at that mall nearly every day. News 12's Kevin Vesey is in Garden City. And Kevin, what are shoppers saying about all this?
Yeah, so Antoinette, there is a lot of concern among shoppers we spoke to today, especially those who have teenagers. In fact, some tell me they don't even want their kids coming to this mall by themselves.
I think it's very disturbing. You should be able to go to the mall and be safe, and it's very disturbing to me.
Nick Provenzano is among the Roosevelt Field Mall shoppers worried today after police say a 17-year-old boy was brutally attacked at the mall Wednesday night. Police released this photo of a suspect who they say they're searching for. Authorities say the attacker punched the victim multiple times in the face, head, and back, and then ran off.
My kids want to go to the mall, I should feel okay. Instead, when they go to the mall, I'm actually nervous inside.
And according to police records, crimes are happening at that mall just about every day. There was a shoplifting arrest at the JCPenney on Tuesday, and last Saturday, someone allegedly stole from Dick's Sporting Goods. In December, this fight broke out, sending shoppers scrambling while guns slid on the mall floor. That same night, another man was arrested after police say he tried to bring bricks inside during a separate fight in the food court.
I think we need to up security.
And we reached out to Nassau Police and the Roosevelt Field Mall's management for a comment, but so far we have not heard back. For now, that is the very latest here in Garden City, Nassau County. Kevin Vesey, News 12.
A News 12 update. The 2 officers involved in a deadly shooting in Orange County are now on voluntary leave. State police say 69-year-old Nancy Loftus was seen outside a home in the town of Deer Park holding what looked like a gun. Troopers Kevin Jacks and James Curtin ordered her to drop that weapon. When she didn't, they opened fire. Loftus was taken to the hospital where she later died.
New tonight, Live Nation has ended its Lawnies Pass program that offered a flat rate for lawn seats at music venues across the state. News 12 New Jersey's Jyoti Reiki spoke with frustrated concert goers.
I saw Hozier there. I saw Styx. I saw Alanis Morissette. I saw Korn, I saw Slipknot, I saw a lot of different groups.
PNC Bank Arts Center and Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, 2 of several concert venues impacted by Live Nation's recent decision to end the Lawnies Pass program.
What I loved about the Lawn Pass is that it let me see all these groups that I never would have thought to see on my own. But now I'm only going to go see maybe 2 or 3 at this venue at most.
Alan Berg said he went to anywhere from 12 to 15 concerts last year with his Lawnies Pass and only paid about $240. PNC Bank Arts Center's summer lineup, which kicks off in about a month with popular artists like Luke Bryan, Dave Matthews Band, and Halsey, might look a little different this year. Fans like Allen vocal about their distaste in the recent decision on social media. Live Nation responding to News 12 saying, "We are working on new and exciting programs for the summer concert season. New programs will be announced on an ongoing basis. We are so grateful to our Lawnie community, and prior Lawnie Pass holders will be the first to hear about these new offerings."
I was kind of surprised, but I didn't know what to expect. I thought that they said that they were going to give out these like special deals for the people who had the Lawnie passes first, and it's been 2 months since that announcement, and I have yet to get an email from Live Nation.
Meantime, Live Nation has released a statement saying that they're supportive of the executive order signed by President Trump at the end of last month on ticket resales that aims to protect fans from ticket scalping. Reporting in Homedale, Jyoti Reiki, News 12 New Jersey.
Local matters here on News 12 The Bronx. I'm Lindsay Tanney. We're continuing to follow a deadly shooting out of Throgs Neck, where we now know the name of the 24-year-old man who died after being shot 2 times in the chest. News 12's Jody Juliana Powell is at the active scene with more details.
A heartbreaking scene on Quincy Avenue. Family members crying, mourning the loss of Jeremy Ortega, the 24-year-old man that was shot to death in front of his house this morning. Police say they got the call just before 5 a.m., finding Ortega on the ground with 2 bullet holes in his chest. One neighbor said he heard 8 shots go off.
I heard the shots and I came outside.
Witnessing just moments after the shooting.
The guy that must have been doing the shooting come running back across the street. They had parked in a white Honda Accord.
He says the shooter did not leave right away.
Screamed something, jumped back in the car and took off.
Every neighbor I spoke with said this area is quiet and mostly crime-free. But a couple months ago, one neighbor tells us Ortega fell victim to another crime on his block.
There was an incident with him where he was robbed at gunpoint.
At gunpoint?
Yeah. And then this happened 6 months later.
Now, crime scene tape lines Quincy Avenue, blocking off shell casings and blood covering the concrete. As detectives piece together what went down that led to the murder of Jeremy Ortega. From Throgs Neck, Jody Juliana Powell, News 12, The Bronx.
Right now, arrests for fair evasion are up 5 times more than they were just 2 years ago. Jumping turnstiles is a common sight at the Canarsie Rockaway Parkway station, all thanks to a construction loophole. Well, now the MTA is cracking down on L train evaders. News 12's Julia Joseph brings us the details.
It's literally too easy to avoid paying the fare here at the Canarsie L train station. Just watch. This man knows the trick. Instead of walking through the proper entrance, train riders often walk this way, avoiding the turnstiles on the other side.
I mean, I pay every now and then.
You pay every now and then?
Yeah.
With little to no enforcement, riders maneuver the system every day.
You know, we got to follow rules. Rules are made in place for a reason, and we got to follow the rules.
From this commuter's mouth to the MTA's ears, they say fare beating cost them nearly $700 million in 2022 alone. Relocating some of the turnstiles and adding this fence between the train platform and the bus stop, the MTA's buckling down on fare evaders in Canarsie. What you see here now is only a temporary beginning. The MTA says come next year, they're going to have a more permanent solution installed. But this new system has some riders concerned. They fear the free transfer from the bus depot will no longer be an option. The MTA says have no fear. The project will ensure that customers still get that free transfer to the subway. Workers on site tell me by next Friday, construction is expected to be complete. In Canarsie, Julia Joseph, News 12 Brooklyn.
The family of Dyshan Best, the man shot and killed in the Bridgeport police shooting, planned to sue the police department for $40 million. Their attorney claims new evidence shows Best did not have a gun. News 12's Frank Recchia has this update.
We said no, hell no.
It was a defiant Darnell Crossland, attorney for the family of 39-year-old Dyshan Best.
The taser was deployed and they missed.
Who held a press conference with Best's family looking on to unveil what he says is compelling new evidence made up of slowed down body cam and surveillance video.
Vape, that's right there on his left hand.
Along with, quote, enhanced imagery to demonstrate his main premise that contrary to what police claim, Best did not have a gun when he was shot to death by an officer on March 31st.
He tried to portray this as a weapon.
He says what Best actually had were a vape pen, a bottle of Remy Martin, and an iPhone.
He had no gun. And so people are really getting close to questioning whether this gun was planted.
The Inspector General on Friday announced that police found a 9mm handgun on the ground where Best fell after police responded to reports of a fight involving a person who supposedly did have a gun.
I actually heard a gunshot and I didn't understand it.
Matthew Purdy says he was in the car with Best just before Best got out and ran from police.
He didn't do anything wrong. There was no gun.
And we're suing the city for $40 million in this case. And we're hoping that that will send a message to the other police officers that this has to stop.
No. As the Inspector General continues to investigate,
we want justice.
The fatal shooting continues to fuel controversy.
There's no reason why Dyshan Beth is dead today. He should be alive.
You got nothing, then it's quick, and then we'll let you go.
In Bridgeport, Frank Recchia, News 12, Connecticut.
The Inspector General saying today they are in the process of investigating this matter in a thorough and impartial manner, and they stand by their preliminary report.
Now to the very latest on a small plane that crashed just north of Dutchess County that took off from Westchester County Airport. Let's get right to News 12's Katerina Valalis this afternoon with what we know so far.
Well, we now know the identity of the 6 people that were on board that plane and unfortunately died as a result of the crash just north of Dutchess County.
The Federal Aviation Administration says the plane was heading to the Columbia County Airport this past Saturday when it crashed into an open field in Copake just after noon.
The aircraft was intact and crashed at a high rate of descent into the ground.
The 6 people on board were all killed, including Karenna Groff, the 2022 NCAA Woman of the Year. She was a soccer player at MIT in Boston. Her father, mother, and boyfriend also died in the crash, as well as her boyfriend's brother and his partner. They were all heading to a family holiday celebration. Authorities say her father, Michael Groff, was the one flying the plane. The NTSB says he reported a missed approach and requested vectors for another approach. As he was being vectored, the radar indicated a low altitude alert.
The ATC controller attempted to relay this low altitude alert to the pilot and also tried to contact him 3 additional times. Unfortunately, he was unsuccessful.
The NTSB says it's now investigating the incident.
Now, as the investigation continues, a preliminary report is set to be released in about 30 days or so, whereas the final report with the probable cause of the crash as well as any underlying issues won't be released for another 1 to 2 years. We tried reaching out to officials from the Westchester County Airport to also comment on this matter. They were unavailable to speak with us at this time. In the meantime, we're in Harrison, Westchester County. Katerina Valalis, News 12.